I'll call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Northfield Public School Board. It's Monday, September 12th, 2011. Dr. Richardson, are there agenda changes?
Yes, you'll find a number of items in the table file, and they're basically personnel items. You've got appointments, increase, decrease, and change in assignment, resignations, and also a request for TRA part-time teacher program. We also have one item for information, which is the draft of the annual report on curriculum instruction and student achievement that Hannah will be going through with you tonight. And again, this is a draft version because, as you know, we don't have data yet from the department, and so we're waiting for that data in order for the principals and staff to be able to complete their elements for the annual report.
Okay, if there's no objection, we'll add those items as we move forward here. We have opportunity for public comment, and I see that there is no one in the audience, so I'm going to dispense with my usual remarks about public comment. And we turn now to approval of the minutes. Board members, you have in your packet the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 22nd, 2011. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion.
Approved by Jeff. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 22nd, 2011, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Those minutes are approved. On to announcements and recognitions. Dr. Richardson?
Okay, we have several announcements this evening. First of all, the high school administrators wish to acknowledge the incredible amount of work that the following staff put into the LINK program for ninth graders this year. T.J. Wiebe, Mary Schmidt, Sarah Swan McDonald, Jeff Eckhoff, Kathy Wurtzman Miller, and Kathy Clark all were extremely instrumental in having this program go off very, very well again this year. And obviously it's in no small part due to the work of these folks in terms of getting that ready to go, as well as the numbers of the upperclassmen who serve as LINK members and work with individual groups of ninth graders. Also, the Northfield High School Athletic Department is purchasing a dedicated AED for Spring Creek Park soccer fields. Again, thanks to the generous donations from John and Gretchen Erzman and the Northfield Soccer Association. So not only, as you know, we have AEDs around each of our buildings available, but this will also put one out on the soccer field in case we do have an issue there. Also, our Connected Kids Mentoring Program will be featured on KARE 11 at 10 o'clock p.m. On their news broadcast on Monday, September the 12th. So that's tonight. So and I think you'll have no problem getting home by then. The neat part of this is that KARE 11 is airing a special on mentoring on Tuesday, and our program is going to be used as kind of the promo feature for that particular program on Tuesday. So it's a really good opportunity to see, I think, some of the very, very high quality mentoring activities that we provide for Northfield youth. And then finally, we'd like to recognize and thank all of our district custodians and tech crew for preparing all of our buildings and tech equipment for the year. I think they're oftentimes the unsung heroes, but as you walk through the buildings now, you notice they're shined, they're polished, and obviously people work tirelessly and have performed some veritable miracles over the last 3 months to get everything back in shape. And I think it's also great to see all of the new model classrooms in place, and now we're in a situation where every elementary building has a smart board and or LCD projector in every grade level classroom across the entire district. So we're really making some strides in terms of technology and having that in place for our kids. So again, thank you to all of those folks who worked tirelessly over the summer to get that ready to go.
Excellent. Anyone else have any? Julie?
I want to also acknowledge unsung heroes of Benjamin Bus Company, because I know the first day of school, that first week is scrambling with new students and changing addresses and all that kind of thing, and those guys are amazing what they're able to do, so we just want to thank them for that.
Anybody else? Okay, it's exciting. The beginning of the school year is always exciting to get the kids back in and see the lockers with the notes on it from the link leaders and all of that, so it's fun. It's a fun time of year. We have No items for discussion or reports tonight. We do have a couple of items for individual action. The first is a resolution establishing a ballot board, and folks may remember that there have been some changes to the election law, and you correct me if I goof this up.
You're rolling.
Because the school district is handling this election, solely responsible for this election, it's not in connection with the primary, it's not in connection with any municipal election, then the school board is required to establish a ballot board which will process, accept, or reject absentee ballots for this election. And so we have in the packet a resolution in the language required by the statute to establish that ballot board. And I won't read all of the statutory language there, but I would ask for a motion to approve that resolution establishing the ballot board.
So moved.
Moved by Ellen, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ann. Any discussion? Okay, because this is a resolution, needs to be a roll call vote.
Yes. Fossum,
Aye.
Maple,
Aye.
Iverson,
Aye.
Pritchard,
Aye.
Quinnell,
Aye.
Stratmore,
Aye.
and Nelson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The second item we have is a correction to the special election sample ballot, which was attached to the resolution that we passed at the August 8th meeting. Upon further review, we've discovered that our attorneys had made a typographical error in the special sample ballot that was provided in connection with that resolution. The language in the resolution was accurate, but the sample ballot that was attached was inaccurate, and it inaccurately identified the current level of our existing referendum authorization. And so we are tonight then being asked to correct that typographical error that council made and to approve a motion to modify the sample special election ballot that was included in the resolution packet on August 8th, 2011 to reflect the correct current revenue authorization. This is the revenue authorization that's currently in place of $1,269.90. So I'd ask for a motion to modify that sample election ballot.
I'll
So,
move it.
Moved by Noel. We'll give the second to Julie. Second. Okay. Any discussion on that? And I just want to clarify that our legal counsel is absorbing any costs associated with us having to make that
That is
correction.
correct.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. On to the consent grouping, and I do want to remind you there were a number of items in the table file added to the consent grouping. Is there anything anybody wants to pull from the consent grouping? Is there a motion to approve the consent grouping? So moved. Moved by Ann, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ellen. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the consent grouping, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent grouping is approved. Flipping along tonight. Items for information. Board members, you have in your packet the draft of the annual report for 2011. Hannah, do you want to run through that with us?
Yes, and I want to thank Heather Kuhinka. She was in here a few minutes ago, but she's the person who's responsible for the layout and all of the building principals, the director at the ALC, Amy Moeller, and Heather Ryden do all of the things coming out of curriculum and instruction. Roger just came in, nice timing, but he collects all our data. And our data is not complete, as Dr. Richardson mentioned, so we are waiting to get all of that updated, and all these people are going to be working very feverishly this week so that we can make a September 6th layout deadline, 16th layout deadline, so that you will have a second draft, which you will approve hopefully at the next board meeting in 2 weeks. So I'm not really going to go through any of the material, just know that where the dates look off, they are. So
Sure.
we're just going to be
4% or
filling.
XX.
Right,
Right.
right. So we'll be filling in all those holes in the next couple of days. It's really pages 5 through 8, where we've got all the data from the different schools that will see the most changes. I know on page 10, we're trying to get one of the little charts a bit larger so that we can read it. And I'm still
Those
working
of
on
us
that.
who use bifocals
Yeah.
can read it.
I've got more than that in here, and I'm not getting it. So anyway, that's where we are. We take pictures in the next couple of weeks so that we've got students represented throughout the piece. And we make this, we have to have it approved by the board by October 1st, and then we put it on the website, and we send a communication to families or to the public telling them that they can go to the website and get the information, and we will be happy to print a copy if anyone would like a hard copy. We just don't print and mail anymore.
Mm-hmm. And as I recall, it was a few years ago that they changed the
Yeah, we
requirements.
changed about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it saved us considerable money over the course of time to be able to do that.
Okay, good. Julie?
So we're legally required to provide it by October 1st?
You have to approve it by October 1st.
Okay.
And that's why that second meeting in September, we need to get approval. I believe we have till the 15th to let the public know it's available.
So we're still waiting for the data from
No,
the
right
State.
here, where's the data?
No, I mean, just
Yeah,
curious
it
as
was
to.
embargoed.
It'll be released publicly on Wednesday.
I see, okay.
Yeah. Now, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
The part that will be released on Wednesday will only be the data on the average scores in terms of reading and mathematics.
Okay.
The actual information around AYP in terms of making adequate yearly progress will probably not be released to the public until the 30th of September, which is the other thing that's making all of our efforts right now in terms of working on the AYP plans very, very difficult because everything is backed up actually a month and a half to 2 months. Dave Kraft, who needed to have his program ready to go in case they went into corrective action, basically had to implement a plan even though he has no data for this year. He implemented the plan the first day of school. We've got a little more leeway at the district level to get our plan together probably by the end of December, but that's how far behind everything is in terms of operation. At the same time, the waiver requests that have gone in to the federal government from the state level could end up changing all of that, because if the waiver request is approved, although the district will continue to need to create a plan because we're in corrective action, that would actually stop the plan needing to be implemented in terms of the corrective action plan at Greenville Park, and also would freeze everybody where they are in terms of their levels. So there's lots of changes that could occur depending on what happens with that waiver. At this point, we've heard nothing from the federal government about whether the state waiver is going to be approved or not.
So the delay in getting the information, the data, is that because of the shutdown or the?
That is
Department
because
of Ed? Okay.
during that 20-day period, they basically contacted Pearson and told them, you can't correct the tests. You can't do any work on this until the state begins operation again. So everything is backed up. And so we are just waiting for the wheels of government to get spinning at full speed again
I see.
in order to
Okay.
get those pieces ready.
Okay.
So if there is some data that are not available for us when we get to the point where we have to meet the state deadline for the report, then we say in the report, we don't have the correct data. When those data are available, we'll insert and you can check for the updated version. So the
Okay.
whole report is
Sure.
just tentative.
Yes, yes. Okay, very good. Anyone have any further questions for Hannah on that? Or Roger? Okay, thank you for all your work on this. It's gonna be a big scramble when they finally release all of that, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we have a public information meeting scheduled for Tuesday, October 4th at 7 o'clock in the high school auditorium. And as the community knows, the school district has voted to seek the community's authority to levy additional dollars. We've got 2 levy questions that we're gonna be going out for, approval on, in November. The first is for, an operating levy to, replace and revoke and replace at a higher level, for additional operating, revenue. The second is a continuation of the existing capital projects levy, which allows us to maintain our buildings, continue to upgrade technology as needed and that sort of thing. This will be an information session for the community to learn more about those 2 levy questions, which will be on the November 8th special election ballot. So again, that's on Tuesday, October 4th, 2011 at 7 o'clock in the Northfield High School auditorium. Beyond that, we have our regular meeting in September, Monday, September 26th. Again, the information meeting on Tuesday, October 4th, and our first regular meeting in October on October 10th. I don't believe there's any other official business. I think we might have set a record for short meetings, but I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move it.
Noel moves we adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.